Okay, well here is stage 5 of the April 2024 DRS series. I screwed up big time and joined the pen in what I used to was riding before a TT bike. So it switched me to the basic Zwift frame with basic Zwift wheels, and I decided to, but I didn't notice it till after the gun went, and so I decided to try a really quick bike swap at the beginning of the race, which I botched profoundly. And instead of it being a roughly 10-second swap like it normally is, it was 20 seconds. So the group was 20 seconds ahead before I was rolling again. So I sprinted like no tomorrow and closed to 2 seconds, and I just couldn't push any further. By that time we were almost 3 minutes into the race, and I needed to back off. So I'm just gonna solo at tempo pace just to get a ride in, and I'm gonna follow the race that I don't normally get to watch. And take all you along for the ride. So we got a breakaway here, 15 seconds ahead of the group. Now the first segment is the Titans Grove KOM, which is FTS only. So a solo break off the front has to be pretty ambitious, because the first FAL is not until after you've gone through Titans Grove and you're back in the desert, right at the end of the desert, at the end of the it's more like a mini time trial prologue, 7-kilometer stretch in the desert time segment. The end of that is FAL. So Mr. Scott here needs to get enough of a gap to stay ahead over the climb from when the lightweights really go for it, and stay away all the way until 3/4 of the way through the race before the first FAL. So good luck to him. He's pulling away. He's up to 18 seconds. We'll see how this goes through the rollers. Let's go back to the group and see how the chase goes. Well, we've got Keith from Dirt's Grit team leading the pack, pacing them to limit the losses. Their second wheel as well. Dirt's Grit team is a new addition to the DRS this season. They've been riding in the first division of the top B division of the Zwift Racing League. Has an absolute powerhouse squad for this division of DRS. So we're hoping to see good things from them this season. Due to family commitments and changes in work schedule, most of the Badgers weren't able to race this season. And so we're mostly just riding for fun to finish out the year before we switch to outdoor rides in our respective parts of where we live. Alrighty, so that's the first climb out of the desert. And Mr. Scott here, his gap is down to 10 seconds, with the bulk of the steep part still to come. His power output is dropping to just over 3 watts per kilo. Of course, as I say that, he's sort of just over 4. It's almost like he can hear me. Well, Scott, I'm pulling for you. Always love cheering for a break, because they're so often doomed to fail. Especially on a stage this long. This stage is 41 kilometers before we finish, so that's a long way to stay off by yourself. You can see the peloton is chasing over these rollers. We've got Rhino and OTR and a dirt rider marking them as they close the gap up to Scott here. I expect that once these three catch, they'll ease off the pace and there will be a regrouping before they hit the KOM. There they go, here's the regrouping. Let's see who's struggling on the back here. Back where I would normally be. Some grit. We got some other of grits, the grit sprinters of Kendra Leung and Nathan Manick. But if I know those guys, they're pacing themselves for the KOM. Steve Fish from OTR, of course. He's a longtime nemesis of the Badgers and the Chasing and the oh goodness, he's on Chasing Dean. But the he's a longtime nemesis of all the dirt teams, really. Fantastic sprinter, but not much of a climber. He's usually towards the back when the road pitches up. But something to be concerned about. Here he goes, short punchy climb. That was the start banner of it there. And you can see these guys that were sitting off the back. They're looking for FTS for sure. 8 watts per kilo. They'll close this gap of a few seconds to the main pack in no time at all. And then they'll sit in, recover just a touch, because this climb doesn't really pitch up right away. It's kind of a falls flat in a short downhill section before it really goes up. We're just going to follow Steve through, because this short punchy climb will suit him fairly well. He's a 1 to 2 minute specialist. So much so that he actually upgraded himself 2 categories at the end of last season in one race. Because there were 2 sprints within 5 minutes of each other. And because he has such a phenomenal 1 minute power, two big 1 minute efforts within 5 minutes of each other pushed his 5 minute numbers outside the category limit. Even though his overall average is right in line with this category group. He had to sit out the first couple races of the series until those efforts dropped off his 30-day records, which some people might say is sandbagging, but I've ridden with him enough to know that it was just the particular stage on that day when he upgraded leaned heavily to his strength. His 20-minute power is same as mine or less, but because his sprint is so strong, he's able to punch above his weight or below his weight, however you look at it. I definitely punch above my weight. I'm always at the back when the road tilts up. It's kind of like being subpar, which I always thought was a weird reference. In golf, you always want to be subpar. The best golfers in the world are the most subpar golfers ever. So, I don't know why subpar gains such a negative connotation. Alright, Steve. See if he's faded from his earlier sprint, or if he can hang on to this group. His heart rate's only 130, but I don't know where his heart rate usually is. This is the final stretch to the top, so if he's going to go for FTS, he's got to make a move now. Here we go, 5.6. He's, just doing what he can. Jump 20 beats a minute just there. 5.7. Let's see if he can stay on the gas over the top. There we go. We've got grit coming over the top. 1, 2. 4-minute climb. Let's see what Steve does. It's 4:23. Nope. Alright, let's see where I am, and then we'll come back to the group. So you can see those guys summited in 4:23. A week ago, I was doing 4:44. There's no way I was ever going to stay in that group. Well, I've got a couple minutes before I cross the top, so I'll jump back to Scott here. They're in kind of a chase group here with Nels in the Badgers lineup. Jump forward to Bradford with grit. Another fantastic sprinter hanging on to the back of the peloton. How did I do? Without really focusing on it. Over 5, I'm sure. 5:11. Jump back to the chase group here. Lots of teams represented, but it's too big for any one team to take charge, but too small for the collective draft to really do some damage on the lead group. And as you can see, the gap is up to 20 seconds. And there's some guys really punching off the front of this peloton. Well, we're halfway through the race. Still a very big group of not really heavyweights, but the high watt per kilo squad. There's our friend Scott. He's breaking away from the chase pack. We're still holding around 28 seconds off the lead group. But those groups of 3 and 4 coming down the hill have amalgamated together. Oh, he's got a teammate here to help him out. Mr. Tennant. David Tennant. Someone I'm very used to losing to in the DRS. Excellent rider. Kind of a dark horse Not super flashy like the Alex's of Rhino. Just goes about his job, gets the job done. I just don't think there's enough organization in this group. The group is doing 40. And 4 minutes back. 90 seconds behind Bram. Another grit rider. A real TT specialist, so not too surprised to see him off the back on a rolling course like this. That hill is... he feels the same way as I do about them. If we could get the lightweights to slow down, we would be a real asset to them in the chase on the flats, but they don't wait for us guys. Well, Scott's 6 seconds off the front of this group. But even still, though, he's still 30 seconds back from the chasing, or from the lead peloton. He's got lots of teammates here. If they organized, they could sure do some damage. Gap's up to 40 seconds now. You can see a lot of grit riders sitting at the back on this drag coming out of the Ocean Boulevard. It's deceptively long, this 1 and 2% grade. Nathan, Remy, Bradford, sprinters, all of them. Going back into Titans Grove, they'll get up to this T and take a right. gonna be really hard to get away from that group on this downhill. I'll come back to them in a minute. Oh, I'm really impressed with Scott. He's a minute back. So the leaders are on the time segment now, and they're doing 38:39, and then we'll go for a bunch sprint for FAL. This segment really should have been FTS. Where am I? Am I in Titans Grove yet? Oh, climbing now. Downhill. Speed is good. 12K to go for the chasers. Rest here. How are the leaders doing? Minute 17. Up from the chasers. Stretching the pack out. Through the oasis. Good man, Scott, 37 seconds back. He's keeping pace with this lead group solo. There's some compression here now that they're through the oasis. And the sprinters are going to start to play games now. Let's follow Bradford. It's not this arch. He's going to drift back now. He's too far forward. See that group of rocks up there? You can see it now. Nobody wants to lead out. There's compression. Everyone's slowing down on the front. Opportunistic time to go long for somebody. It's just around the corner. They gotta go now, or they won't have enough time to get through the group. Go Bradford. Oh, it's farther than I thought. Go, go, go. Here's the line. No, he's not going to do it. $11K to go. is done. This is what not going too deep into the red on a climb does for me. Watch the leaders hit the finish line. This is the final push to the line for them. Go bad circuit. Here comes Remy. Playing spoiler for Grit. Oh, Remy with the steal on the line. Great job, guys. 90-second effort. Alright, let's go watch the chasers. Let's watch Curtis. There he is. Top 20. Great job, Curtis. Great job, guys. I am not last.
There you go. You gave him a head start, too.
I did. I'm a minute ahead of Bram with Grit.
You got that guy. Well, I got 0 segment points. You
And
guys are pretty quick.
And I caught an OTR rider, so I'm not even second last anymore.
There you go.
2.5K to go. Nels is just about over the summit now.
Oh, you can catch Kendra. You got 46-second lead on you. Keep yours.
$2K to go. That's a tall ask in 2K of uphill.
And fish. Big push.
Yeah, he's gonna go nuts. He's been saving. He was 2.5 minutes ahead of me at the beginning of the desert flats.
He's ghosting for the sprint like he does.
Yeah. $2K to go.
Okay. All done.
Good job, Nels.
Kind of pushing the line. It's pretty killer. Pretty, yeah, I think it's so nice. It felt like a group ride pretty much most of today. So yeah, 30 seconds.
There goes fish, 12 watts per kilo.
Yeah. Good.
11.
Oh, but not 10 minutes into their game. You might catch a bit of it.
All right.
1.2K to go.
Yeah, about the punch of it. So next week, Arvin, I'm probably missing.
Yeah,
Last one.
I'm not around.
Yeah. I got the call in the work.
All right, I got one. This is the final push for me, so I'll talk to you guys in a minute.
Yeah, giddy up. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna be traveling for work next week, so I'm back to you.
Yeah, I can't do it either. It might be a little thin, but that's okay.
That's okay. Just kind of giving ourselves an excuse to kind of settle.
Yeah. Keep pushing there, Irvin.
Yeah, giddy up. Go, go, go.
His heart rate's at 166.
Getting there.
167, 168. He's slowing. Watts are going down. Keep pushing. 169. He's, yeah, I don't think he's got much left there. I think he got him. There you go, Arvin. good. There you go.
Oh,
Of course, the finish line isn't where you think it is.
oh no.
Yeah.
100 meters past.
Gotta go past.
You got him. You're a mile ahead of him. There you go. New PR too. Well done.
Good job, Arvid.
Oh. Well, thanks for sticking around, guys.
Hey, no worries. You weren't that far behind. Well, good. Hold on.
Average of 3.1, 20 minute, 3.3, 5 minute, 4.1.
Yeah.
For being by myself, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You definitely had the mental game on there. That was good.
I closed a minute on your group, Nels, through the desert.
Holy smokes, Arvid.
But
They were so. There was like 2 or 3 guys that broke away through there at like, 3.5, 3.8. There was a couple guys. The group was really just not interested in chasing. So,
yeah.
but still good on you.
Yeah, I figured if I just held a steady pace, who knows what would happen. I caught Bram, and
Yeah.
he took 2 turns for me, and then I just rode him off my wheel without really going too deep.
Nice. I still did a 5 minute 314 watts today, so that's not bad.